Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Your home of the SEC Baseball Tournament. 97.7 The Zone. WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Now, this is the way to start a week right here. Carrabba's Italian Grill, as we are front and center in the main room. We made the main room. Last time I was here, Drudy Armand was here with me, and that took some arm twisting. But Wes Neighbors is here with us at Carrabba's Italian Grill, and I would like to remind everybody, it's Monday, but Sunday is Mother's Day.
Don't forget Mother's Day.
Just saying. Carrabba's Italian Grill.
And nothing says, I love you, Mom, quite like Carrabba's.
There's no question about that.
The filet and shrimp pasta Toscana. What else is going on here? What did you go with?
Always chicken. Well, I can Bill Parmesan.
But you did chicken Parmesan.
Did chicken Parmesan. I'm going to try that tonight.
Oh, chicken parm. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Well, joining us right out of the gate is Senator / Coach Tuberville, who is kind enough to hop into the chat with us. How are you, Coach?
I'm good. I just got through voting on the floor, walking out of the Senate floor and out of the Capitol and headed to another meeting, but it's good to talk to you.
Likewise.
So you didn't go to the university for the graduation? I thought you were always in on that kind of stuff.
What? Oh, I was there.
You were?
Yeah, I was there. I flew with the president and sat there and watched. And
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't see you.
I was hiding like the rest of the politicians, you know.
That was a good deal there, Coach. I was impressed with that.
Yeah.
Coach?
Hello?
Yeah, we've got you, Coach.
Yeah. Were you there?
I wasn't there. Heck, if I knew you were going to be there, Baumhauer wanted me to get with you to get us in. I didn't ever think I had to get with an Auburn dude to get into the Alabama thing.
Hey, Wes, you didn't go to your own graduation.
You're right, I didn't. How did you know? You know,
well,
I graduated.
I know you.
Yeah, no. So I graduated, and 2 days later was in mini camp at the Houston Oilers. So
yeah. Well, you were working. You went to work immediately, didn't you?
It was unbelievable. Yeah, I was hoping for one day off, didn't get any days off. That's the way it works. So.
Well, Coach, tell me a little bit about. Tell me a little bit about.
Night, though. I enjoyed Saban's talk, and President did well, and had a good crowd, and it was good to get him back in the state. I tell you, he loves the state of Alabama, so we're glad to get him back.
Tell me a little bit about the messaging around college athletics and how that went with the president, Coach.
Oh, it's a damn mess. We know it's a mess, and I think the president afterwards, I wasn't there. I had to get out of town, heading down to Louisiana, but Coach and Saban and President and I talked on the plane, and we just got to do it right. And he wants to do some kind of executive order if possible. And I said, I just don't know whether that will work in this situation, but we've got a couple of good scenarios to make this thing work. But we've got people that's all involved now. When you got the President of the United States, you know it's an important topic. And he's got a lot of calls about it, and he should, because this is something that's going to ruin one of the best things that ever happened in this country, which is called college sports. And I'm just not talking about football and basketball. I'm talking about women's sports and all that. So at the end of the day, we had a big meeting up here today. I will go to the White House probably. I don't think it'll be this week. He's trying to fill Alcatraz up with corrupt politicians and judges, and so I think he's going to be busy this week. But I'm looking forward to visiting with him.
So, Coach, do you think that you said it's going to be very hard? Do you think that they need a collective bargain before he gets involved? Do you think that would help?
I think they'll have to sit down and talk to him about collective bargaining and not unionize, but you got to add representation from athletics, from the athletes. I mean, you can't let these commissioners and athletic directors make all these decisions. It's got to be something that's going to be unique. That's got to be done by consent of the athletes that are probably voted on by people that want to be represented. Now, again, it's just something that it's a lot of moving parts in this, and we all know that it's a lot of moving parts. It's something that we gotta make sure that we cross all T's and dot all I's at the end of the day.
How important is the potential ruling of Claudia Wilken in the House settlement? How important of a step is that, Coach?
Well, there's going to be more than just that, but they're all important. But at the end of the day, we got to make some decisions in the direction that football is going to go, whether it's going to hang in there with all the other sports or kind of divide up and make their own league. I'm not so sure, all these lawsuits going through because of the NCAA, that the NCAA can handle all these. And I think that, college football is such a unique sport in terms of the NCAA. The NCAA doesn't make any money off football. They make it all off on basketball. So I think they don't want any cheese. They want out of the trap. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to be a big part of it.
So by saving college football, the idea is it's going to save all the Olympic sports and everything that goes wrong around it, correct?
It's a cash cow. They're not just a handful of teams that make any money in basketball. And I know you got all this money, but they don't make any money. I mean, they spend a lot. If you break even, you're lucky. The cash cow is college football and making the money. If you go back to look at the AFL and the NFL back when they merged, Congress gave them antitrust where they can do a monopoly. They came together and basically did their own TV contracts as a group. And they now make a tremendous amount of money off TV. The problem with college football and all the other entities that go along with it is that when they negotiate a contract, they do it per conference and they're low balls. And at the end of the day, if they were to all come together and say, listen, we're going to do a TV contract all together, you'd see a $4 billion contract, which it is now, go to about $10 billion. And it'd be a lot of money for a lot of people. But being able to get that done is going to be hard to do it.
It's just getting all the conferences to come together to do it, correct?
Yeah, the one that you're involved in right there, and the SEC and the Big Ten, they better look out because the SEC and the Big Ten, they want to hold out and kind of control all of it because they do as we speak because they're the big dog. And you could see a bunch of these other conferences say pull away and say, hey, you're on your own. You're not going to play us. We're going to do our own TV contract. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but something has got to be done. There's going to have to be some give and take here if it's going to get done. I think it's a long shot to get anything done because, as I said earlier, it's got a lot of moving parts. President wants to do something. As I told him, I just don't know whether there's something that you can do to put the genie back in the bottle on this. It's the money's out there, it's going, which is fine. I'm all for making money, but at the end of the day, this transfer portal is going to cost not just the football teams, but it's going to cost the athletes. We got to come up with some kind, as you said, some kind of collective bargaining, some kind of employment where contracts can be done, but it's got to be representation from the athletes as well as coaches and athletic directors and conferences.
Well, so right now, Coach, these agents are charging these kids 20% to represent them,
or more.
It's crazy,
or more, and they're not certified agents. They're off the street people that trying to get their hooks into some of these athletes. We get all kind of reports that athletes don't get their money, don't get all their money. And then on the other hand, you got athletes that sign contracts and they don't uphold those contracts. They got a 2-year contract and hold me to that. I'm going to go to this other school because they're offering me more money. There's got to be something done. There's no loyalty. And what's going to happen is the people that actually pay for all this are the fans. And they're going to look up and these kids wanting all this money. Again, they're going to break the bank, and people are going to quit buying season tickets, and it's going to be a disaster. Because what's happening? If you look at Texas, just spent $40 million on a team. Texas Tech, maybe even more than that. Texas Tech, and they'll do it for 1 or 2 years. Some of these schools, but Texas probably can do it every year. But you got 95, 96% of the teams that can't compete with that.
Texas Tech goes by the oil prices, right? Pretty much how they.
Yeah.
How the year's gonna
go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They had a couple of they had a couple of young guys that played there that sold their business out there, oil business, for billions. And so they're getting in the game, but they can't get in the game every year because it takes a lot more. Texas has those, A&M has those, Auburn and Alabama and Georgia, Tennessee. You got some of that, but you don't have enough to compete with that. Last year Ohio State bought the national championship, and that should be on the record book of $25 million team wins national championship. I mean, but it's just unfortunate that's the way it is now.
Is there anything else you can pass along in terms of speaking points to the president that you can share with us, Coach?
Well, there's really not. Then we sat down with the lawyers, and they've got to have their hooks in it. But you got to do it the right way. You got to make sure that you don't break laws, and we're working on it in our office. And we've got several coaches coming up this week, but I don't know when the meeting is going to be. But President says, Coach, I want to get something done, and or I'm going to do it myself. Well, I just don't want him to jump in there without really understanding, all the moving parts. And, you could, I don't know how you do it, to be honest with you. Say, we're going to go back to the old way of doing it. But how would you like that to happen? They can't do it. And genie's out of the bottle.
And one thing, Coach, I think would help the most is the transfer portal and putting a cap on how many times a kid can move, not necessarily and having to honor your contracts. But when you sign with a school out of high school, if you're being paid, you can't transfer for 2 years. Just little things like that to get that kid to to a little bit more maturity before he starts making some of these decisions. And by cutting down the windows on the portal, I think you'll see a lot of the money and everything else kind of back down a little bit if these kids can't leave after they take money when they're coming out of high school, which is incredible to me that they're allowed to do that, because that's not NIL. That's not what it's supposed to be.
None of this is NIL. NIL was you get into school and you make money off of being a good athlete, a good student, and a good personality, and a good example for youth. Now this is just getting out of hand. This is pay for play. That's all it is, and that's not what this whole deal should have been about.
It is a lot of the framework, at least around this conversation. We've talked about this for a good while with you, Coach, of what you and former Senator Manchin kind of helped build that infrastructure on what you were trying to do a couple of years ago, Coach. Is that fair to say?
Same thing. But again, I'm worried about all this, and we get to a certain point, and the Democrats, they're not Democrats anymore, they're Marxists, but at the end of the day, they basically say, listen, unless you unionize all this, we're not going to do it. So we're going to have to sell it to the left as much as while we're doing this. And again, once we get to a point, and we'll see if they don't want to pass it with 60 votes, then we're going to have to get the president to step in and do something with an executive order, maybe bring some sense back to this whole project.
It does feel like it was a major step, though, in terms of when those headlines came out, Coach. At least across the sports community, it was like finally a tangible step is right in front of us. So a lot of us are getting excited, Coach.
Well, you get the President of the United States involved. He can do a lot of things, but we just got to make sure we do the right thing. Again, we don't want to step off into it and this not solve any of the problems. There's so many problems in this. Again, just go back to, sign a scholarship, go make some money off your name. Let's don't pay people to come to a school. Let's make them earn it when they get there. Let's put education back into it. But you know what? That makes too much sense. And again, it's a lot of these athletes are loving it right now. But again, it's not going to last this way for long. We can't keep this up. It's not going to. And again, what I say earlier, the fans are going to decide all this at the end of the day.
Well, did you enjoy your time in Tuscaloosa as much as, you've had quite a bit of memorable times there in Tuscaloosa, Coach.
Yeah. It was good to go. I got a lot of friends over there, and we saw a lot of friends, people it was good to see people there for a good cause. It was good to see that much support for the guy that's going to get this country back going again from the disaster we had for the last 4 years, Democrats and Auto Pen Joe. It was just, man, it's just a fresh day in Washington, D.C. I'm up here right now and just, I can't, it's just, you think good things are going to happen right around the corner. And back before that point, our country was being just taken advantage of right and left.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for the time. I know you're busy, so I thank you so much for calling in, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That's Coach/Senator. He always hates it when I call him Senator. So, Coach Tommy Tuberville.
This is Talk Radio, WCZN.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
This is Talk Radio, WCZN.
That is actually our HD.2 channel, which, we try not to talk too much politics here on the sports side of things, but it is your home for the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and they've made some news as well. I'll have that for you later on here in this one and only hour as we're walking up to Braves baseball as the Atlanta Braves, fresh off of a win over the Los Angeles Dodgers last night in Sunday Night Baseball. Bryce Elder got the win. That's 2 in a row for the Bravos with Bryce Elder, who's quickly becoming one of the aces of the staff there for the Atlanta Braves. So, A.J. Smith-Shawver on the mound tonight. Oh, yeah, Wes loves these. Hang on, let me try to pull up the game notes for the Atlanta Braves if they have been updated. And, the Reds have updated theirs. It is, it's a different format. The Braves are 15-18, while the Reds are 18-17. One game over 500. Bradley Singer on the mound for the Redlegs, while it's A.J. Smith-Shawver. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the Redlegs, just Google that. They were briefly known as the Redlegs. Anyway, we are live here at Carrabba's Italian Grill. And again, I would like to remind everybody that today's Monday, but coming up on Sunday is Mother's Day. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Appreciate the coach for calling in, giving us an update on the, so not this week, but next week, the potential of some more news down the line. And I'm sure that'll lead into a more interesting spring meetings down in Destin, which is just a few weeks away, right after the SEC baseball tournament.
Still talking about the same stuff, though.
Yes, we are.
Started last year.
Yes, we are.
No,
but listening to Coach, though, I'm going to go ahead and admit it. Yes, I'm a Marxist. Groucho.
Fair enough. But
this is Talk Radio, WCZN.
One conversation that we were having last May was getting rid of walk-ons. And I think universally, just across the board, nobody wants to see that happen in college athletics. College football thrives on the walk-ons.
Well, it does. And the problem with walk-ons is how they're treated because of Title IX. We've gone over this.
Yep.
And they don't have the money for women's sports that they have to pay for a lot of Olympic sports, period. Not just women, all Olympic sports, which is what all our Olympic guys train at all these colleges. That's who pays for them to train. Is the NCAA football, the money they get help train the Olympic athletes. And they don't talk about that, but that's a fact.
Money, revenue generating sports.
Yes, all this stuff. I mean, I didn't get into the fact that there was a lawsuit filed just recently trying to take all eligibility. In other words, you can play college football as long as you want to.
That feels ridiculous to me.
What about this doesn't feel ridiculous? The fact that you can sign a contract and just leave school, that ain't ridiculous? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is all ridiculous. It's all stupid, and something needs to be done about it. And it's going to take somebody smarter than my pay grade to get it done. I mean, I'm hoping that anything with training wheels on it is better than what we have now.
Appreciate Coach Tuberville for calling in, and certainly the news of the weekend, as well as on Friday, was President Trump's visit to Tuscaloosa and the intro there by Coach Nick Saban as well. There's just been a lot of good energy, I'll say, around something moving forward in a positive direction around collegiate athletics. I'll take a positive step any way we can get it. Even if you're a Marxist or
no, I'm Seppo now.
let's go ahead and take our first time out. We're live here from Carrabba's Italian Grill. Phone line's open to you on the other side if you'd like to hop in.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation. But did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa, starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
I am not lost on the fact that I am at an Italian grill on Cinco de Mayo. I get that. I understand that.
We're multicultural here on The Drive.
But I will tell you.
Margaritas.
Yeah, that's exactly. Wow, we've been doing this a minute. That's exactly where I was about to go. Is margaritas aplenty here at Carrabba's Italian Grill?
Just don't worry about it. Italian is very close to Spanish.
No question.
So you know, a little crossover. You get the message.
You're gonna walk up to a Mexican restaurant right now. It's gonna be slammed. Although I will tell you, there's a nice crowd already here in the main room, but there's a couple of tables open right in front of us. So come on by here
and do
to
what
Carrabba's.
We use a zone dealer.
Yes,
I've got fettuccine Carrabba waiting for me at home when I get there.
There you go. Although I'm being told that the chicken parmesan
is fire.
So I'm maybe going in that direction here tonight. 256-576-4977 is the telephone number if you'd like to participate. I do have some breaking news for all college football fans, courtesy of Josh Payton.
I've got great news for you, but I've got terrible news for you. And they're both the same thing. We know who's going to win the national championship this upcoming year.
So Josh has devised a formula on who is going to win the college football playoff. Would you like to hear more as to who is going to win the college football?
I can fade him.
Gospel now. And so we're going to take our internal formulas here and we're going to provide it a little more clarity via the mock drafts. And I have the fortunate/unfortunate task of informing you that we've arrived at a conclusion like 9 or 8 months earlier, something like that. The upcoming national champion will be the Clemson Tigers. Can you believe that? Good for Dabo Swinney. There will be no little old Clemson. There will be no doubting. There will be no hating. There will be no looking down on Clemson. None of that. If they're planning on bottling that up at any point this year, I want to get out ahead of it and tell you no. Clemson is supposed to win the national championship this upcoming year. Whomst amongst us knew, right? So the science is not going to fail us here. According to the mock draft community, Clemson, we aggregated all of them. Jordan Reed over at ESPN, a late addition. I did not appreciate him waiting until today to put his out. And he listens to the show, so you know to do better next year. But with that addition, Clemson 3.2 on average first rounders for the upcoming NFL draft. So this is it, guys. This is it. I assume they're going to win the ACC. They've got pretty good odds. They're the favorite to win the ACC. They're not one of the top 4 favorites to win the national championship.
So that is Josh. He put together these mock drafts from the previous decade to give him some validity to look at this. The previous mock drafts over the last 10 years, and the school that had the most first round draft picks ended up winning the national championship every single year over the last 10 years. So using 5 different mock drafts.
Mock drafts. Not the real draft.
Not the real
mock
drafts.
And I bet you come up with 70 different people in the first round at more than that.
So the way it looks right now, using 5 of the mock drafts for next year in 2026, Clemson's 1, Texas is 2, Penn State 3, Oregon 4, Ohio State 5, Alabama 6.
You know, in the preseason,
LSU 7.
LSU, the preseason of the LSU in 2019, when they were so good, they had 3 people going to be at the draft. Then it was 14 or 15. So it's just, you can't tell. This is, it's
Well, no, he's done his homework. But if you noticed, there's
I don't care what
there
he's
is
done.
there is one team that I did not mention. I don't know if it slipped past you. Clemson, Texas, Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, Alabama, LSU, and even Miami is Georgia.
Yeah, I don't think Georgia's going to be as good.
Is Georgia a 4-loss team this year?
I don't know about that. Well, I haven't looked at their schedule, but they play a lot of.
I think they could very well be a 4-loss team this year. Because right off the top of my head, they've got Texas on their schedule, Alabama is on their schedule.
Well, you got to look at the model he's following. And when I say that is Kirby Smart. He's following the Saban model, and the Saban model doesn't work anymore because you can't get people to stay 4 years. You can't get them to buy in that hey, we're not going to play you as much. We're going to have 3 running backs, and we're all going to run, but that's going to be better for you because you can play longer if you don't wear you out in college. And that's what they did running back wise. That's what they did quarterback wise. They receiver wise.
So here's
played a lot of people.
Here's your 4 losses: at Tennessee, home against Bama.
Yeah.
Texas, that's 3. I think they're going to be pretty up for Ole Miss. That's a home game this year, not a road game. The other road games at Auburn.
You can be
at
all
Auburn
you want if you're
at Auburn.
Yeah,
I'm going to say at Auburn. Those are your 4 L's for Georgia.
I would give Ole Miss a better chance.
Would you really?
Ole Miss is going to be pretty good. Yeah.
They're replacing a lot.
Yeah. But they're replaced with.
Especially, what does their secondary look like?
Better than last year. That's what I'm being told.
Really?
When they get everybody they're supposed to have, yeah. They struggled, but they didn't have everybody. Everybody was, a lot of people injured. Some people aren't there yet. Yeah. I think they're the thing about Ole Miss is bringing in people a lot. They're a transfer portal heavy team, so they bring in people in with experience.
That's
versus playing younger players and developing them. They're not into that, and that's their whole strategy they're going for right now is bring the NIL people in. The transfer portal people in.
Yeah,
and that's what they're recruiting, and that's what they're versus.
Yeah, goodness gracious! Look at these notable additions. I see Wake Forest, Arkansas, New Mexico, Western Kentucky, Louisville. Washington State. That's just sort of the notable additions.
Yeah, they
Jalen Braxton is a transfer from Arkansas that will be on this Ole Miss team coming up this fall. So he's
a really good player.
Ole Miss last year a 10-3 team, 5-3 in SEC. So
it's hard to say what they're going to do because I haven't seen them practice.
Yeah,
it'd be good to see them watch when they get all their players that are coming in, and they're getting more transfer portal. They'll have more transfer portal people in. I think that they're going to arrive this summer that haven't practiced yet. They just signed some more, so it's but you always
Bentley's gone, Parrish is gone, Dart is gone, Harris is gone.
They have some good quarterbacks now.
Everybody seems to believe Austin Simmons.
Yeah, well, that guy came in against Georgia, drove down and scored a touchdown right off.
Yeah,
made some beautiful plays in that game.
Yeah,
lefty. He's a lefty. Guy, I think they're going to be pretty good. I think Auburn's going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
just something about down there right now that doesn't seem right. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe it's. I don't think they're.
Because I thought they were going to take a step last year. I thought Auburn was going to take a step last. I thought Auburn was going to.
Until they get, you got to have 8 offensive linemen and 8 defensive linemen that can.
Is this Kentucky syndrome, or I mean?
I don't know. I just think it's they just haven't been able to attract defensive and offensive linemen. They got one really good defensive end.
Caldrick Falk.
Should be a first-round pick if he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Could be the first overall pick,
possibly if he plays. If he gets better than he was last year, you're right. He could. The kid's really good. I mean, he flashes on a tape. You're like, who's that guy? He's really good.
The wide receiver core is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to be fantastic last year, and they dropped a bunch of ball. All of them did.
They did.
Godwin didn't drop very many. He was the guy that got drafted.
Yeah.
But he ran some bad routes early that supposedly cost him a game. It's going to be interesting to see. But if they don't have defensive and offensive linemen, you can't beat a good team. You might upset one, but you can't consistently win. And that's what they're going to have to do to get there. And supposedly they'll be better. Don't have a lot of depth. Had a lot of transfers from second string guys just recently. 2 or 3 left this spring. It's going to be interesting to see. I
don't see Ole Miss as a double-digit win team right now. From what?
Oh, I don't know about that. Who do they play?
They were 10-win team last year.
They should have won every game.
But then they lose to Kentucky at home.
Yeah, they miss field goals. They don't kick field goals early. Kentucky fumbled the ball for a touchdown. Kentucky early wasn't a bad football team. They were inconsistent, but they weren't just a terrible football team, and they got some injuries.
That was Kentucky's only win in the SEC last year.
I know. Yeah.
Ole Miss schedule.
Same as last year.
They open up with Georgia State, then at Kentucky. I'm sure they'll be up for that. Home against Arkansas, home against Tulane, home against LSU. Open date on October 4th, and home against Washington State. Remember, they had to replace the ACC opponent in Wake Forest, who bought out the game.
Yeah.
Then the back half is at Georgia, at Oklahoma, host South Carolina, host the Citadel, host Florida. Open date, then the Egg Bowl in Starkville.
Yeah, I mean, 2 or 3 of those games will be dogs, maybe 2 at the most. I think 2 at Georgia and
I don't know what to think about Oklahoma right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I really don't know.
Right,
there's a lot of teams I can say that about. Arkansas,
right.
They're playing Arkansas early. I think the Hogs have the potential of being a mess this year.
I just think it's about Lane. Can he get them ready to play? They have the best coaches. They have a really good staff. Lane just kicked his field goals. He played in the playoffs last year. Maybe he does that again. You're going to get beat by bad teams when you mess around and don't take your points early. I mean, they had the ball. I think in the Kentucky game, a bunch down there didn't score any points. But I know against Florida, they had it 5 times, and against LSU, they had it 5 times in the red zone and came away with 0 points. You can't do that and beat anybody good.
Well, here's your SEC head coaches rankings. This from Saturday Down South. And that just tell me what right out of the gate, of course, I think Kirby Smart being number 1 would be fairly unanimous. Won the SEC last year. Beat Texas twice. Who's the second best coach in the SEC?
Sark.
Hands down. I mean, that's on this list.
He has the best.
Is Sark really the second best coach in the SEC?
I think so. Sark is.
Who's the third best coach?
That's good. That's the best question ever. I'm not sure.
Who are you going to throw in that pot right there? DeBoer? Kiffin? Heupel?
I think they're all in a bunch right there. To be honest with you.
So Saturday Down South.
You think so? What I'm saying now at this point, through that I think that you give Alabama's team to any of those 3 people, it's going to be about the same. The winning. I don't think there's any difference.
Kirby is 1 on this list. Is Connor O'Gara that came out with this list. Kirby Smart 1, Sark 2, Kalen DeBoer 3, Brian Kelly 4. Number 5, Josh Heupel.
Okay, so
Josh Heupel is number 5.
Yeah, so
Lane Kiffin 6, Drinkwitz is 7.
Yeah,
Beamer 8, Stoops 9.
3 players in the last transfer portal. 3 offensive linemen.
Elko 10,
3
Napier.
Starters. You know that, right? Missouri. 3. Yeah, just lost 3 of his starters to the transfer portal.
Napier is 11th. Clark Lee is 12. Pittman 13, Venables 14, Hugh Freeze 15, Lebby at 16.
They have nowhere to go but up. So that could be.
This has to be
change.
This has to be the bottom low point for Mississippi State football, right? They've won one game in the SEC in the last 2 years. This has to be the bottom.
Don't say that.
Doesn't it?
Well, they just lost their starting quarterback.
I know. Yeah.
So
and they've won one game in the last 2 years, and of course, the death of their head coach as well a couple of years ago.
The death of the head coach caused a shake, no doubt, but it's who they hired and not having him have any help, guardrails, and just turn it over to a young guy that's never been a head coach before.
Yeah.
And he did the worst thing you could do.
Zach Arnett.
Yeah, he's a defensive guy and changed the offense.
Yeah.
And that was and then he wasn't doing the defense either. So he went from here's a guy that they had an offensive guy that was really good at scoring points to a conservative offense, and then the defense wasn't as good because he wasn't doing it. So it was two mistakes that just kind of sunk the battleship.
Zach Arnett being listed right now as the defensive coordinator at UNLV under Dan Mullen.
Last year he was at Ole Miss.
That's right. He was an analyst there.
At Ole Miss. Ole Miss has the best two analysts. They have the Giants' old head coach who's there.
Yeah.
Along with Zach Arnett on defense. And so they had two guys with tremendous amount of experience just as analysts. And that's the way Coach Saban used to do it as well.
Jay Judge. Is that
Joe Judge?
Joe Judge.
Yeah.
Thank you. I knew I was saying something wrong. Joe Judge.
Yeah, who was the special teams coordinator at Alabama. Actually was
wow. Joe Judge is 43 years old. He's still a pup.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Man.
Nice. Him and his wife are really, Wesley worked for Joe Judge at Alabama when he first became a GA. And that's why I've been around them a bunch.
That's cool.
And when I went to Ole Miss, I forgot he was there. And his wife came running up to me, and I forgot I'd taken him out. I don't know how many. It was a long time ago, Steve.
We've been doing this for a minute.
I know. It was a long time ago.
And on the subject of that, I've got a bone to pick with Ball Corp Inc. And that is the group that owns the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Of course, you can hear every single game of the Rocket City Trash Pandas on. Oh, that was your cue, brother Brian.
This is Talk Radio. WCCN.
I guess he is. Yes, Talk Radio.
I'm sorry, I'm Harpo now. I'm just talking with
the horn. So you can hear every single game of the Rocket City Trash Pandas on Talk.
This is Talk Radio. WCCN.
Yeah. So I've got in front of me the top 10 list. This is not David Letterman. This is top 10 list from Madison, Alabama. This list that we were given back in July 26th, 2018. Do you remember these names of the list of names? The Army Ants, the Comic Jockeys, the Glowworms, the Lunartics, the Moon Possums. We went through this. The puffy head bird legs, the space chimps, the space sloths, the thunder sharks, and then the trash pandas.
Yeah.
And then that very day, Gene Stallings was a guest.
We've chronicled your pet raccoon in previous conversations, but how did the pet raccoon become a pet raccoon?
Well, I've always wanted a raccoon. Even when I was a kid, I just wanted a raccoon. And there were some guys out of Alabama that did a lot of coon hunting, and I let the word out that I'd like one. And this little bitty baby raccoon, somebody brought him to me even before his eyes were open. Well, I don't know whether this is accurate or not. This is what they told me. When the raccoon opens his eyes and he sees something, he thinks it's his mother. Well, I was nursing the little raccoon when little getting him some milk when he'd open his eyes, and he really thought I was his mother. He would follow me around, and I had a lot of fun with the kids in the neighborhood. They'd come out, look at the raccoon, and he'd crawl up in a tree, and I'd say, "Now come down out of that tree." And he'd come down there to get over my shoulder. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And he had a coon dominium. He had a 2-level house, and we called it a coon dominium. And first thing I'd do when I'd get home work, I'd go let my little raccoon out and play with him. He would run a circle. I'd sit down on the floor, and he would just run a circle around me, and then he'd leap on my back, and their claws were really sharp, and I mean, it would hurt. But anyway, I enjoyed that little raccoon. There comes a time when you've got to let your children go. There comes a time when you've got to let a wild animal go. So it was time to let him go, and I released him out here at the ranch.
There you go. That was July 26, 2018, the very day that we got that release from Ball Corps Inc. Coming up on the other side, this will
We had a whole show on.
Oh yeah. In fact, the next day we had Jim Fuller on, and that turned into a whole Trash Panda party. And I've got that show as well. But this is to reel Brian back in. John Oliver did a segment on minor league baseball. Take a listen to this after this final timeout. This is just a real Brian back in after we had Coach Tuberville on the other side. Yes, indeed. We're live here from Carrabba's Italian Grill. Final call for phone calls on the other side.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
You guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Buying that perfect home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make. So it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Stuart Evans, mortgage loan officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation in a changing rate environment. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank. It's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit me at our downtown Huntsville office and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
Bryant Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Temperature is going to be falling into the upper 40s to lower 50s for this Monday night. Expect to sit under a mostly clear sky. Mostly clear sky turns into mostly sunshine for our Tuesday. Not expected to see any rainfall. High temperatures warming into the mid 70s for the afternoon. Rain looks to return back to the Tennessee Valley on Wednesday. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
So here on this very program, we have taken ownership of the name Trash Pandas. I mean, as soon as that list came out, we gravitated towards Trash Pandas.
Did 2 shows on it. And next thing we knew, they voted on it. That was it, right?
That was it. So John Oliver, who hosts occasionally a show Sunday nights on HBO, this show was about deportation, but the last part of it, he likes to end on a lighter note, was on minor league baseball. John Oliver.
Minor league baseball teams are really good at publicity. They kind of have to be, as well their player contracts are handled by major league teams. They're responsible for many other operating costs, which can be significant. So they go out of their way to try and grab people's attention, starting with eye-catching team names like the Hub City Spartan Burgers or the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp or the Modesto Nuts. Those are just the ones named after food. There's also the Richmond Flying Squirrels, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, and the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. And incidentally, Rumble Pony sounds less like the name of a baseball team and more like Australian slang for a bike. G'day, mate. Just peddling the heck out of the old Rumble Pony right now. I'm bloody naked. The names of minor league teams have actually gotten even more creative in recent years as they discovered that a flashy reboot can really boost ticket sales. Here's a marketing exec with one team in Alabama explaining the gamble that they took on a team name that really paid off.
The ownership group hesitated a lot using the word trash in their name. I don't want trash to be associated with our name. You can't have trash. That's not going to be a good look. It's not going to sell.
But oh, did it sell? The Rocket City Trash Pandas, with their logo featuring a raccoon in a trash can rocket ship, exploded.
We sold $2.3 million in merchandise before playing a Trash Pandas game.
What you did? I cannot believe that ownership group thought that idea for a single second. Because if you told me my idea for making people buy things is to put a raccoon in a trash can rocket ship, my first, second, and third reaction would be, good idea, you're about to be a billionaire. Because you can't not buy merch like that once you know it exists. Case in point, go Trash Pandas.
To which he put on a Trash Panda hat. I mean, come on. 2.3 million in sales before they played a game.
Didn't get $1 commission, did we?
I mean, come on.
Hey, I was one of those.
Yes,
I get a new Trash Pandas hat every year.
So we're just here to help the community more than anything, and you can listen to Trash Panda Baseball all season long.
This is Talk Radio, WCZN.
Now he's getting it. There you go.
What do you want? I'm out of practice.
Some other headlines of the day. The dogs evidently picked up a loose dog that Was first a commitment, not a commitment, now a commitment again. 5-star quarterback Jared Curtis, the number 1 quarterback of the 26th class, announced his commitment to Georgia over Oregon today. But keep in mind, they still cannot sign until December. So there's that as well out there. So, yes, he verbally committed. So I'm sure his recruitment's going to totally stop. No one's going to blow up his cell phone, and that is completely done.
People now are offering more money.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is really crazy. What else? Over the weekend, oh, my goodness. Please tell me you watched the double overtime game last night with the Winnipeg Jets.
No, I watched the highlight.
Oh, my goodness. There is nothing quite like playoff hockey. Throw in double overtime playoff hocky.
Yeah.
And then you're down by 2 goals with under 2 minutes to go. You pull your goaltender, score twice.
That was at the end of the game to go into overtime.
Yep.
Yeah. You're down.
Sorry, Blues fans.
Yeah, you're down 3-2, and you score with 1.6 seconds left.
How about that?
And the guy that totally whiffed, then got the puck back, passed it across the ice, and yeah, I saw it. And they were at home too, so the crowd noise had to be incredible.
It really did. And then I watched. I was flipping back and forth. Turner was really owning the sports night last night because Golden State was doing Golden State things again last night, and that guy Curry, he can still shoot it and pass it, but wow, Buddy Hield had a tremendous game last night for Golden State as they now move on in the NBA side of things. But Houston has got to have PTSD playing Golden State in the playoffs because it just another year and another exit, another year, another exit. Tonight you got Knicks and Celtics. That's a 2-3 matchup, although not many people are giving the Knicks too much of a shot. The Celtics are a 9.5-point favorite tonight. Also a 9.5-point favorite are the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Nugs. I'm leaning Denver, actually. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm not leaning either because I'm not watching it.
Well, got Panthers and Maple Leafs coming up tonight as well on the NHL side of things. Coming up next, though, for the Atlanta Braves, where is it? Game number 34. Game number 34 for the Atlanta Braves. Home game number 15 for the Bravos, who are 6 games back of the first place Metropolitans. The Reds are 3 games back of the first place Cubs in the Central. We'll talk to you tomorrow. So long from Carrabba's.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America